right. Hello, everyone. Carrying on from yesterday, the third point, thinking again and again of the many causes of death. So, like I said, there are many different causes of death. So, obviously, some of the causes it is very easy for us to understand, like the examples given in the text, maybe avalanches, falling objects, maybe we will face death because of our old age, sickness, maybe having accident, and all this stuff, which is very easy for us to understand. But what we have to understand that is even what we think is going to help us, they are also going, they also might be the reason for our death. And then we do see or hear a lot of people saying that, oh, I am not afraid of death. But actually, I guess everyone is afraid of death. It is not like that. Some of us, sometimes we might think that, oh, I'm not afraid of death. But actually, as soon as we are sick, we want to go to hospital. If we go to a place where there are lots of wars or maybe famine, then we don't want to go there. And especially in a place where there are like lots of fatalities, then again we don't want to go there. We don't want our loved ones to go there. So that obviously means that we are all afraid of death. But sometimes we don't realize that and we keep on saying that, oh, I'm not afraid of death. But actually we all are afraid of death. And then we have to keep thinking all the different causes of death. Like, for example, during the COVID, we think that, not we think, but some of my friends, like when they were here in Kathmandu, they thought that, oh, Nepal, here people are not wearing the mask properly, they are not using the sanitizers properly, so it is going to be very difficult for them here. So they thought that if they live here for a longer duration, there is possibility for them to die here. So they were very afraid of death. And they thought that if they are able to go to the West, where people follow all these instructions well, they might be able to live longer. They might be not getting the COVID like that. But then my friend, they and their families, they all left Nepal, went to the West, but as soon as getting to the West, within few weeks they all were contaminated by COVID, and all of them passed away because of the COVID. So we have no idea what is going to be the cause. We think that we are taking care, but at the end it might not be the actual help. So even what we think is going to help might be harm for us. And then not only that, like I said a few days back, when there were the COVID, we all thought that wearing the mask is going to helpful, to be very helpful. But then again, wearing it for a very long time, later we found out that it is not going to be very helpful for other part of our body. It is going to create some problem for our lungs because we are breathing the same air again and again. Then again it is going to contaminate your lungs. Again, it is not a very helpful idea. But at the beginning, we thought that that is very helpful. And not only that, even the vaccine, I think most of us took the vaccine to be free from COVID so that the COVID is not going to attack us. But then again, that we are not exactly very sure whether it is going to help or not. But then we do see like lots of maybe some problems arising because of the vaccines. Maybe those are true, maybe those are not true, I'm not exactly sure. But then there are people who say that maybe because of the vaccines that we took, now we are having this problem, that problem. Maybe it might not be true, but we cannot say for sure. Whatever we think it is going to be helpful for us, maybe it is not going to be helpful at all. And then again, like I said the last time, we say that exercising is going to extend our life. We are going to live for very long, but then again, it might not be like that because of exercise. Maybe exercise might be the cause of our death. Some of us say that we need to be very happy, and if we are happy, then we are going to live very long, healthy life. And to be happy, we need to travel, we need to be in a very quiet, beautiful place, maybe at the beach, maybe see the mountains. But then again, when we are traveling, maybe we will have some accident and then we might die. So everything might be the reason for our death or the cause for our death. So what we have to understand is we are not saying that these are bad. We are just trying to remind us that any can be the cause of our death. We have no idea. Sometimes we are very 100% sure that, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to live very long. But that is not true at all. Anything that we think is bad for us or which is good for us, anything may be the cause of our death. So the more we think that, then we are more afraid of our death. So if we are afraid of that, then we will do something for our death. But if we are not afraid of our death, then there is nothing we will be doing. So it is very important to think of all the different causes might be for our death. And then the fourth point, think about how it will be at the time of death. So especially those people who have seen people dying, they will know or they have seen how it feels like. When someone is about to die, they become very frightened. They don't have control over their body, they don't have control over their mind, and they are always very afraid. And sometimes they see a lot of stuff, maybe it is there, maybe it is not there, but then they see a lot of different things and then they become very afraid, and when they are dying, their body becomes very stiff. Because if we think about ourselves also, when we are very afraid, then all of a sudden our body becomes very stiff, and then we are stuck there, we are not able to move. When we are extremely afraid, or maybe when we are terrified, it is just like that when people die. Most of the people, when they are about to die, they become very terrified and their body is very stiff, and then all of a sudden they die. And when we see the dead body, then it is very difficult to move their limbs, to move their hand, to move their fingers, because they are very afraid of death. But then again, there are practitioners who are not at all afraid of death, because they were afraid of death right from the beginning, and then they practiced, and then when the death actually comes, then they are not afraid at all. They are just like, oh, I'm just like going to a sleep. I'm dying, but then again I'll be having rebirth, then I'll be born again. So it is not anything to be afraid of. So their body doesn't become very stiff. Especially like when our Rinpoche passed away, I was there doing all the help with Rinpoche's body, and not only me, there were like quite a few of other senior monks from the monastery, and we didn't touch Rinpoche for 3 days because Rinpoche was in meditation state, and after 3 days when we did something or when we touched Rinpoche, then it felt like very warm. It was still very easy to move, whether the leg, whether the hand or anything at all. And even though I haven't actually touched a lot of dead bodies before, but some of my other Dharma brothers, they have done that quite a lot of times, and they were very surprised with how easy it was to move that time. And then, like special beings like Rinpoche, even if they have passed away, or even when they are sick, it's still very different from normal beings like us. What we saw is like when Rinpoche was sick and he was not able to talk much, he was not able to move his body much, and then in layman's term, maybe we might think that, there's nothing he or she can do when it happens like that. But then what happened was, even when Rinpoche was sick, before that, if we all see properly, then His Holiness Siddha Rinpoche, Gyaltsen Rinpoche, they were all in India. They were not able to travel. They were stuck in India for a very long time. We all know that they were not able to go out of India for a very many number of years. But when Rinpoche was sick, because of that sickness, they were able to come here to Nepal and see Rinpoche, be with Rinpoche, both of them, His Holiness Siddha Rinpoche and Gyaltsen Rinpoche also. And then that opened the doors for them to travel to other countries also. And we, all of us, we think that we are very healthy, we can do this, we can do that. But actually, even when we are in our 100% best health and everything, we will not be able to do that. But Rinpoche, even when he was sick, he was able to open the doors for both the two main masters of Kagyu lineage. And after that, you have seen them traveling quite a lot to Malaysia, to Thailand, to Indonesia, and all these countries. But before that, if you check their social medias or the website, you will be able to see that both of them were not able to travel a lot outside India. But because of Rinpoche's blessing, should I say, they were able to come here, and then after that everything was very easy for them, and they were allowed to fly to different countries, give teachings, give empowerment. So even when, even the sickness of Rinpoche was big blessings to all the sentient beings actually. But if we just see the sickness as sickness, then we think that Rinpoche is just sick. But actually, even when, like a special person like Rinpoche, even when they are sick, they are able to carry on all the Bodhisattva activities, which we are not able to carry on, even when we are like extremely healthy and perfect condition. And then not only that, even after the passing of Rinpoche, we were all able to make a lot of prayers, and from early in the morning till late at night, some of us even prayed like the whole night. And these were all because of the passing of Rinpoche. And because of that blessing, we were able to have the motivation to practice. If Rinpoche had not passed away, I don't think we would be able to continue something like that. And even when he was sick, even when he passed away, there were like lots of blessings which continued and gave motivation for all his followers to practice, and which is very special, which sometimes when we just take it very easy, we don't realize how much blessing special person like Rinpoche has. And not only that, during the cremation, all the great masters of different lineage from different countries, like Rabjam Rinpoche was in Bhutan, Gyaltsen Rinpoche was in India, Sagyatizin, he was also abroad at that time. They were all able to make time come here. Same time, they were all able to do the prayers together. And these are all, I think, because of the blessings left by Rinpoche. So even after his passing, there are still like lots of blessings left here, which is unimaginable for us. We sometimes think that when someone has passed away, then there's nothing left, but it is not like that. All these kind actions, pure motivations, all the blessings, they will be here in this place for eons and eons. And we are here now practicing under the blessing of Rinpoche. And we are all also here. We also met each other, all because of the blessing of Rinpoche. So we have to take in consideration that Rinpoche has been very important to us, even if you have seen him or not, even if you have been in touch with him or not, but directly or indirectly, we need to have respect and devotion to Rinpoche. with our older students, I think it's quite okay, but especially the newer students, some of them, like they think that they are students of Tukudam Rinpoche, and some think that, oh, maybe they are student of me. They say that, oh, I'm student of Choje Lama. And then there are some who come from different centers of our monasteries. They think that I'm a student of this Lama, this Kempo, and all this. But actually it is not like that. We all have to realize that all of us who are teaching, all of us who are taking the responsibilities, we are all just an activity of Rinpoche. Even if you haven't met Rinpoche, even if you haven't received teaching from Rinpoche, even if you receive only teachings from us, but we have to have the main devotion and faith to Rinpoche, especially since we are all Kagyu practitioners. And every time before practice, we always recite Kagyu lineage prayers. And all these lineage masters are like almost 1,000 years back, some of them are like 500 years back, some of them 200 years back. And Marba, Mila, Kambapa, these are all like almost 1,000 years back masters, which we haven't met. And the Rinpoche is only like few years back. And we are not giving much devotion, faith to Rinpoche, but then all of us, we are making prayers to masters from like almost 1,000 years back, which actually doesn't make much sense. So we have to realize that even if you haven't seen him directly or met him directly, received teaching from him directly, but indirectly, you have received teachings, empowerment, oral transmissions, vows, everything from Rinpoche. So the more you have faith and devotion to Rinpoche, I think it is going to help you more in your practice. And then the fifth point, think about how it will be after you die. So this one also we have gone through a little, but again, we can go through it again. Like you have to think about yourself. Like now we know that it is not the action that is most important. It is the thinking or the motivation that is the most important. So when you are meditating, and not only when you are meditating, even like normal times, you think about yourself. How much time you spent having good motivation, how much time you spent having bad motivation, how much time you spent having no motivation at all. And I think most of us spend most of our time without any motivation. We are just following our thoughts, and when we don't realize what we are thinking. We are thinking all the time, but we don't realize or we don't have the awareness of what we are thinking. And you are able to know or you are able to identify that, oh, how much time I'm spending having a good thought, how much time I'm spending with a bad thought. And when you are able to realize that, then you will have like little idea what you will be in your next life. If you have like lots of good motivation, then in your next life there is huge possibility for you to take rebirth as a human or maybe God realm like that. If you are having lots of negative thoughts, negative motivation during the daytime most of the time, then there is more possibility of us being born in hell or maybe hungry ghost realm. And then if you are having most of the motivation, neither good motivation or bad motivation, then there is possibility for us to be born in the animal realm. And then for that, I don't think you need a teacher or you don't need a mirror, whatever. To look into yourself, you don't need anything else. You just have to have you. You think about it. It's very easy to see. If somebody tells you, oh, you are always having negative thoughts, you are always having attachment, you are always angry, then it is quite disturbing for us. But when you realize it yourself, then it's not very bad. We are also able to take it more easily. But when someone says that to you, then we are not able to accept that. That is very common for all of us. But when you check upon yourself and you make the decision what kind of thoughts you have, whether you have good thoughts most of the time or whether you have bad thoughts, bad motivation, it is very easy and clear to see what we have. And then depending on that, we will be having our rebirth in our next life. And of course, we haven't seen Hungry Ghost hell realm like that, but at least we have seen the animal realm and we can see what they are doing, how they are living their life, how much possibility there is for them to be born in a higher realm as animal, depending on what they are doing, whether they are wild animal, whether they are domestic animal. We can see what they are doing, how much they are doing for others. And even when we are talking about others, here we are talking about the motivation that we have to understand. Of course, when you just see, then maybe you will think that, oh, if you are born as a cow, then I will give milk. So it is very meritorious like that. But actually, they need to have the motivation. It is not like, oh, I want to give milk to this, to that. It doesn't happen like that. So all the animals, if you see and if you check, they are only living for themselves. And if you are only living for yourself, then how much possibility is there for us to be born in a higher realm? It is almost 0%. And once when we lose this opportunity, then it is only going to be lower and lower and lower realm. And then once when we are way in the lower realm, then it is almost impossible for us to be back as a human being or a boy or be born in a higher realm. So it is very important to realize and understand that, oh, I only have this opportunity and I have a very good opportunity, but even this opportunity, I have no idea how long it is going to last. So how long or how short it is going to last, I am going to make use of it. So maybe I will be able to attain enlightenment this year, this life, or if not, then maybe I'll have a better opportunity in my next life. And then if we have that kind of mindset, then we will definitely see result. But if we don't have like that, then there is more possibility of us falling into the lower realm. So that completes our class, and I think we are not going to have class, my class tomorrow, so today is going to be the end. And obviously in these 6 days I have said a lot of things. Some of them are according to the text, some I just say what has been very helpful to me from my own understanding, because sometimes when we only go through the books, it doesn't make a lot of sense once in a while. And I'm not saying that I am more better than the books, but some of us, like when we are very beginners, when we just follow the books, when we have the same examples from every book, it doesn't make us understand the teaching. So sometimes I just give whatever examples that I think is appropriate, and obviously some of them are not correct, and there are going to be lots of mistakes when I talk or when I give teachings, and all the mistakes that I've committed, and not only from what I have said, but also from my motivation, will also not be correct the whole time. And I would like to say sorry for all those mistakes that I have committed through my speech and my mind. And I hope everything that I said, if not everything, at least some of them were helpful for you to make progress in your meditation. And may you are all like little afraid of death, and if it happens like that, then it is very helpful. And if you still think that death is very far, then maybe it's not been of much help. And if it is like that, then very sorry.